Hello, and welcome back to Martlet Games. My name is Sarah, and I'm the storyteller for our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition chronicle, London's Bleeding, a period piece that focuses on an unlikely coterie of vampires caught between the mortal struggles at the end of World War I and the first year of the Spanish flu pandemic. Let's get reacquainted with our illustrious players once again, starting with Ben/Walter.
My name is Ben, and I'm playing the gangrel Walter Price.
Hello, my name is Patrick Gill, and I will be playing Rafe the Toreador.
Hello, I'm Samantha McLarty, and I will be playing Lillian Crawford, the Ventru.
And I'm Stephen Rieger, and I'll be playing Tommy, the Malkavian.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone joining us tonight. I'd like to just briefly thank once again the players, as without them, this world and story I shaped has no life. So thank you all. And as a reminder, this is a game for mature audiences. Above all, please take care of yourselves. Pain reminds us we're still alive. Numbness can blind us to the pain, which takes its bloody reward eventually. Unsurprisingly, kindred have a different relationship with pain. Some experience a painful embrace, and others suffer lingering psychic pain as their humanity slips away, as do the years and centuries. The desperate boredom and lack of control in regards to the beast can foster a desire to inflict pain on others as well. The acute pain of hunger and its partner, the predatory instincts of a vampire, threaten the mortal lives of London, which have already been devastated by war and disease. But the mortals that do survive, crawling through the squalor, often catch the eye of wayward kindred. The warmth of the human body draws them away from their immortal pursuits and for a moment closer to humanity. And so their watch continues as the world-weary mortals remain unaware. And now we begin. Outside the Drunken Dancer pub in the East End of London, the noose on the old gallows swings in the biting winter wind, searching for a neck as midnight nears. Moving inside, we find Lillian the Ventru, Rafe the Toreador, Walter the Gangrel, and Tommy the Malkavian somewhat taken aback by a boisterous character called Bollocks, with two clanmates in tow, sidling up to Myron Bond, who's running the pub. It's my understanding that Tommy is still obfuscated.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. And before we jump right back in, what are you all thinking after watching Bollocks and his two mates drop in? Rafe, what's your feeling?
This is definitely a turn that was unexpected, but maybe not totally out of the question. And as far as Nosferatu go, so far he's not that bad of a chap.
Fair enough. Lillian, what about you?
Lillian is thinking that somebody has a whole lot of explaining to do.
Be sure. And Walter, you just were invited in not too long ago, so
I'm coming in, and I don't know this man, but I know the type, and
I'm sure you do.
And he's dangerous, so we're doing Sense the Beast up, just trying to get an idea of how dangerous.
Okay, Sense the Beast. So no rouse check required. If you will please roll me Resolve and Animalism, and then I will make a roll for our friend here.
Okay.
Okay.
We got 2. 6
Okay.
or better, right?
Yes.
Yeah. 2.
Yeah. So right. So you are able to sense. You don't sense some things about him. You don't sense any level of hostility. His good mood seems genuine from what you can determine with this power. This is a kindred.
Sure.
His appearance might have suggested that to you before you pop this sense the beast, but he's kindred, and that he's not displaying any levels of hostility, hidden or otherwise.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
his act is how I act while I'm licking my lips. So
Right, and that's fair enough to be suspicious, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, he doesn't have any hostility right at this moment.
That's fine. Perfect.
And just to reiterate, so Bollux obviously is a Nosferatu. His skin is like hanging off his face like a ball sack. And it is lumpy and it is hairy in places, and he's got this mouth full of like yellow, like stacked on top of each other teeth. They're looking real rough, and he's just it's really toothy. It's a strange sight for sure. And he's like always smiling, so it makes it even weirder. So Tommy, what's your first impression of this?
I'm glad that I'm not seen in this group right now. I don't know exactly what's about to happen. Like you said, he came in very loud.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Tommy's a little on edge. If he has anxiety, it's kicking in.
Okay, fair enough. And actually, it's really, really interesting that you say that, because Bollux goes to slap Myron on the back, kind of just like jiggling his shoulders, and generally cajoling him as his two clanmates are sort of chuckling in the background. And suddenly, Tommy, where are you located in the bar?
Has the bartender gone back behind the bar yet?
Yes. Yeah, he's back behind the bar. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm caught between the bartender and the edge of the bar. Because I don't think I got out.
So you just got slapped on the back?
No, I'm behind the bar with the barkeep.
Okay, that's fine. So at that moment, Bollux kind of perks up, and he points where Tommy is standing. Hey, bruv, come out. It's all right.
As I go out, I'm going to grab the vials of blood that were underneath the table, and I will serve them like I'm a bartender as I come out of obfuscate.
I would actually like you to make me a roll there.
Sure.
Sure. So if you please could give me a Dex and larceny, please.
Dex? Larceny?
Yeah.
Not gonna look pretty, boys. That's a 0.
Just a regular failure, though.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like sneaky grabbing the vials. Like I'm just sorting through to get them right now, making noise and everything.
Okay, so you're popping up from behind the bar with these 2 vials.
Yeah.
Okay, and as you do so, I've
been had.
Huh?
Yeah, I've been had. I pop out.
Yeah, no, he sees you, and I assume you pop out of obfuscate. So you pop up above the bar, and you kind of just like lose your balance. And as you're like trying to steady yourself on the bar, like with these 2 vials, you smash one of the vials of blood, like kind of under your hand as you're getting it, but the other one survives, so to speak.
I hand it. Cheers, bruv.
You hand it to Bollux?
Yeah.
I mean, this is mine, mate. I don't want this.
I thought you'd be thirsty.
Not for my own supply. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Not always.
And he gives you some side eye for sure, but he's not particularly bothered by the smashing or the blood that's now on the bar top. So
I grab a rag.
that's nice of you. So Bullocks then sort of moves his way, so he's standing right next to Myron behind the bar, and he kind of puts his hands on the bar and leans forward. He looks at Myron for a second, and then he leans over the bar. And who do we have here? What an interesting looking crew, and in the East End, no doubt.
He's looking at us or looking at Myron?
No, he's looking at the group of you now.
Oh, right up.
He's assessing you, and he says, You don't belong here. You don't.
Oh no.
What are you doing here?
Well, actually, we came here initially to talk to Myron, but now that you're here, maybe you would actually be more suited to provide us the information that we're looking to obtain, and I'm, familiar with how...
Oh dear, Rafe, just spit it out, why don't you?
And Bollocks leans a little further again, and he like kind of slaps a piece of the skin on his face, just like a rubber band, and he's like, who are you working for?
Well, me personally, I have my own vested interests in the information we're after, and I can't personally speak for my compatriots here, but I've got my own reasons.
And Bollocks looks at Myron again and goes, You know these cunts. And
All right, let me just stop you right there, darling.
Oh my!
Yes, no need for you to continue trying to sort out who we are, who we aren't. Let me just go ahead and indulge your particular brand of questioning here. Is this not still a Camarilla city?
I mean, of course.
Right.
I mean, ain't
and
never been any other way.
Are we not currently in the Camarilla city? Which means
this is London.
that...
I've been here my whole life.
Right. Which means that obviously we are here under some sort of Camarilla advisement. Why else would someone like me be here? I'm here to find information for the Camarillas. That's... Why else would I be here? I mean, honestly, no offense to the lovely barkeep here that you have. I'm going to say that it's you, isn't it? You're the one that has this one on the hook, aren't you? Either way, no matter to me, we have many questions and we need answers to those questions, and I've already been here yes, far longer than I really wanted to be, so if you don't mind, let's not continue with this drabble, shall we? And just go ahead, we'll ask the questions, you give us the answers, and we'll be right on our way.
I nudge Walter. Oh, she cuts me off and says that I'm long-winded. She talked like 3 times longer than I did. I was keeping count. What the fuck is up with this? And I kind of just like lean back against the bar and by all means go about. Yeah.
And Bollocks just he kind of he leans back a moment and he's just taking it all in. He's like, I mean, I was right, ain't I? You don't belong here, especially you, sweetheart. You don't belong here, and you'll make sure everybody knows it, don't you? Now, I'm here to get some information of my own before I start dispensing it to you all here tonight. I come for information from my boy, Myron. Yeah, he's my boy, but he's a friend
Obviously.
to all. He's a friend to all like me, you see. And we're very protective of him, and especially protected of what he's got. And he grabs Myron's head and shakes it around in his brain. That's what I'm here for. So let me get my information, and then I'll decide whether or not to disseminate some to you. How's that, love?
Oh, surely you jest. You
Me just never.
Surely you do, because whether you want to dispense such information or not is really not your choice in this matter. We are here under the advisement of the sheriff and the seneschal herself. So if you don't want to tell me, by all means, I will just go and let the sheriff know that you're being a bit difficult and let them come and get that dispensation of information from you. Would that be more suitable for you? I mean, I can make this arrangement. It is not a problem at all. I just assumed you wouldn't want the sheriff to be here in this establishment. But who am I to judge? Maybe you take better thought that way.
Why don't you roll me manipulation and intimidation, please?
Yay!
I know, yay, but we'll see if it's still yay.
Okay. Manipulation, intimidation. Oh, those are so good.
I know. You almost didn't have to, but I'll make you do it anyway.
I'm being a bit bitchy, aren't I? Oh shit, those two fell off. Alright, I got 1 crit, 3 regular, and a bestial.
That must be a messy crit then. Wait.
Yeah, I guess that's what that would be, yeah. Sorry.
Oh goodness. Okay, so let me reference a handful of things here. Let's say, okay, so what's gonna happen is you're, really executing your Ventru skills here. And this is, we've seen before Lillian do this dance with many other people and I'm sure other kindred in her lifetime. So Bollocks does, he's not like rebuked necessarily by you, but he sort of is like begrudgingly like kind of nodding and giving you some respect. But what does happen is that because you had to exert yourself a little harder than normal to get this guy to crack, your hunger will increase by 1. So
Cool.
so and this time the surge of hunger is not accompanied by any voice, by any dark presence. It's simply the visceral, unpleasant driving force of hunger that you feel. And I believe you're now at hunger 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happens. So Bollocks sort of nods there and he's taking it in. He says, all right, I mean, we're working for the same team after all, right? I mean, it's a bit different in this area. I know you must have fun hobnobbing with Lady Anne, and yeah, Pa's the sheriff of North London, but I mean, she ain't coming down here that much. I don't think you understand. They don't really fucking care what's going on here in this part of London. It's simply, I mean, from the docks to Whitechapel, it's a slum, love. I know you don't like being here, and neither do the other members of the Ivory Tower. I mean, but in any case, I believe that it's most likely in our interests to exchange what's going on in our brains, right? So
Absolutely. I would completely agree.
All right, wonderful, wonderful, love. And he looks at Walter and he says, you look like you could be from around here, though. You belong.
I'm from Manchester. Am I coming through?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm from
Yeah,
Manchester. I'm from Manchester. I'm a transplant after the war.
Oh, Manchester, the war, eh? Yeah, we
Yeah.
got a lot in our ranks from the war coming home, ain't got nowhere to go. So They're coming in our ranks, aren't they?
Some of us.
Right. Well, we'll have to have a chat later. Soldier to soldier.
Yes, we will chat.
Wonderful. Now let's get this show on the road, eh? So, he, before he starts to answer the questions that you probably have for this guy, he just looks at Myron and goes, "All right. Well, before we get into the academics with this lot, why don't you tell me what's been going on in the East End and the Docks, boy?" And Myron, he nods his head. He doesn't seem like he's been coerced into this. Like, he seems like this is his job. This is what he does. It's been like this maybe for some time. So he's kind of ready with the report. He's like, well, I mean, the bloody fist, they're well, the violence is increasing, mate. I mean, it's not going well. We got bodies in the Thames. And he sort of looks around shiftily for a second. I even heard that one of them, or some groups of them, are going into houses around the East End and Whitechapel, and they smothering people in their beds, especially those that got sick. They just kill them right there, the whole family. Now, I only heard this once or twice, and you know how, they like to tell tales, as it were, but not now. People, I mean, you know how it is here, and now with the war and the flu, it's just people. You don't need to make up a tale, right? You just look around you and see what's going on here.
Did you write that?
It's right here.
No, I mean, I'm asking. It's like, does that come from you, or is that true?
No, that's legitimate. That was not me.
Okay.
No, that was not me. I've been using the bloody fist as cover for some other things that we've got going on, and yeah, I haven't heard that part.
I'm just making sure he's not spouting out lies you spread.
No, that was not me.
Okay.
And Bollocks nods his head, listening to what Myron has to say. He says, well, fuck. That's not on. Do we know any members in particular that are terrorizing the folk in their homes?
I actually do start writing this information down now that we're getting down to some gritty details.
Yeah. Cool. That's, yeah, noted. So let's see. Bollocks stops again, and he sort of like goes like this to Myron, and Myron leans into him and whispers something to Bollocks.
Since I'm standing right next to them, can I take a chance to listen?
Sure.
I'm totally activating heightened senses too, by the way.
I was gonna say, okay.
Everybody's.
No, I can't.
Holy shit. Okay.
I mean, he
Several
made the move. As soon as you do this, you heighten sense.
Yep.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. Okay, so let's see. First, Rafe. So with heightened senses, go ahead and give me wits and resolve, please.
Wits and resolve, right? One moment.
And yeah.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice there.
Wow.
Holy No. That's supposed to be a regular dice, not a hunger dice. 2 successes.
About to say, too late. You already did it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
messy crit.
wait, who has a messy crit?
Nothing. Nobody.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, so Lillian, are you also going for heightened senses?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. So wits and resolve from you as well, please.
All right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and okay, yeah, that's a crit as well.
Wow. Okay.
I guess I got another one of those. I guess it's a messy crit on the hunger die.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what I got.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, hold on. So you've got the messy crit on the hunger die, and then a regular crit on a regular die.
No, just the hunger dice. I think it's the same one. This one right here. Well, shit. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only crit though that you have.
Yes.
That's not a messy crit die.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
not a messy
Okay.
crit. Yeah, you would get a crit on the hunger die as well.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So you just got a critical success there. So, Tommy, you don't have heightened senses. So,
I'm leaning in. I'm like just...
Right, you're leaning in. You're right there.
He's like, huh?
Well, everybody else is doing it. I'm just got to do it a different way.
Just, I would also like for you to roll wits and resolve, despite
Absolutely.
not having that activated. Obviously, you don't have that. But...
I don't have it. I'm
Right.
expecting my teammates to pick that up.
2.
Yeah, you'll be fine too. Okay, so Rafe and Tommy, as they are whispering, you hear, it's muffled and it's weird, and they almost sound like they may be like using different words for things, like speaking in some sort of code.
Oh, thieves' cant.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, so you hear Myron say specifically, you hear, man with a sword.
Okay.
And now Lillian, because of your critical success, you actually hear, you hear sort of like the whole phrase, which is, at the houses, man with a sword on his chest. So that's what you hear. And after he whispers that, Bollocks is kind of looking at you like, you know, it wasn't hard to tell. You were all kind of like, like, what is it? So he's just kind of chuckling. He doesn't really seem to care if you guys heard that or not, but he appreciates Myron's gesture to at least try to keep something secret. So Bollocks strokes the folds, the many folds, the 6 chins. Not a large man, a tall, spindly man, really, but not on the face. So he's sitting there, he's like, my. Brimmer won't like this. Brimmer ain't gonna like this. He's gonna be right pissed. Fuck. All right. Anything else? Anything else, my boy? And Myron sort of thinks for a minute, and he says, no, I mean, it's just those bodies in the Thames, and the 1 or 2 things I heard about, the really bad shit in the houses in the East End, mainly around here, down by the docks, and all the way to Whitechapel there. And Myron sort of looks like he feels a bit relieved, having given his update. So Bollocks seems satisfied with that, and he crosses his arms and sort of leans back, and he goes, "All right, who's first then?"
Right. Well, the thing that we've been kind of looking into, there've been some medical professionals being disappeared.
Oh, is that so?
We were under the impression that we would be able to get some information about the matter here from Myron.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, it's hard to know. Lot of death these nights. Lot of people going missing for one reason or another. Most of the time, it's nothing flashy. It's just people want money.
Well, these disappearances might have been a bit flashy.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What about,
in what way?
What about those times that weren't so mild or whatever it was you just spouted?
What you mean?
The deaths that were not obviously natural or...
Yeah, the bodies in the Thames, that's a pattern now, but I ain't heard of a medical professional turning up there, but it could be. Bodies look pretty strange after a couple days floating in the water, even just one night. But I do remember hearing, I mean, some of my other boys in the street, I mean, and let me be the first to inform all of you that the bloody fists are not the only cunts out here on the streets, okay? The broken mouths are here as well, and we've got bigger numbers, and we don't do the really nasty shit that these people, the bloody bloody fists are doing here in the East End. We don't do that type of stuff. We're trying to help. We're trying to help people. These are our times.
So I motion to Myron's wrist or wherever his tag was, and I'm like, is that broken mouth?
And Myron looks at it and smiles like, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right.
Good eye, mate. Good eye. And yeah, he seems kind of pleased by that.
Stay out of the hospitals unless you're bleeding.
I mean, no need for me to go to the hospital usually. I mean, with
just some friendly advice.
Any motions to both. Yeah, no, I'll make sure. But I am worried about Harvey, though. I'm real worried about him. If it is like you say, I mean, he's in danger now.
Was Harvey Williamson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right.
So let me.
No, you go ahead.
So I've heard a significant amount of what you haven't done or don't know or what isn't whatever. I'm not exactly interested in the what hasn't or the what you didn't or any of that particularly. I am more so interested in what you do know to be factual or rumored, or what you've seen or something along those. What is relevant? I don't need the history lesson of what is irrelevant to my question. I need to know what is. Do you understand?
History might give us context.
Walter. Is that your name?
It is. Who's talking?
Bollocks. Sorry.
Bollocks?
Yeah.
It's Mr. Price.
Mr. Price, my apologies. Well, Mr. Price, that is a very astute observation. And because out of my own mouth, I was about to say that you need to know the context of these things. Obviously, and he looks back at Lillian, you don't spend time here, and that's all well and good, but that means you lack a sense of understanding about your environment here. Would you say you are familiar with these parts? I think you'd say no. So, I'm trying to frame it for you, as it were, so you can see the beautiful picture inside, the piss in the streets, the bodies in the river, and such. Anyway, let me lay it out real plain. I will lay it out plain for you, miss.
Please do. I don't need to know about the picture. I need to know about the bloody artist.
I am bollocks. These two, and he mentioned to the crew that are not behind the bar. They've just been standing, sort of amused by this whole person. That's
I'll add
Guts.
the cigarette.
Yeah, that's Guts, and that's Tenna. And they're with me. I mean, I think you know what we are. I don't think anyone's confused here about that. And I am the head of the Broken Mouth Gang. We have a large mix of people in our midst from all walks of life and on life, as it were. And the violence of the bloody fist has been increasing. This is obviously, we have to take notice when these sorts of things go on. And last but not least, I report to, and I don't think even that you know this, love, but I don't report to the prince. I report to my prince. And my prince is Aaron Brimmer down in the tunnels. And he is the one that is keeping the East End in any sort of order without, well, for the most part, without the influence or particular direction of those in the tower, which includes your Anne and Miss Parr and the prince himself. They don't care what goes on here. They don't care. The mortals are sick. They're sick and thin and weak. They're despondent. That's no kind of sustenance, right?
I will
who
give you
cares?
that no, they really don't care what goes on here.
Exactly.
The problem at hand is the fact that whatever's happening here is likely spilling over there. That's where the issue is. That is where the problem is. That is what we're trying to remedy, which is why I need you to provide the information that might help us remedy this problem, so that your lovely area here, this particular bit of land here, remains as you see fit, and we don't have to worry about really trying to get the more upper part of the hierarchy to have to come here and deal with it themselves, because I'm pretty sure you don't want Anne or the sheriff or the prince himself to come here to try to sort it out.
No,
Right.
certainly not.
Right.
Because at the end
All on
of
the
the
same
day,
page.
if doctors and nurses are disappearing off the streets, that's less mortals fighting against the pandemic. And the less people there are fighting against it, the more it's going to spread and the worse it's going to take hold. And then the next thing you know, we're the last species standing, and then our eventual extinction is at hand, because soon we will have nothing left to feed upon but ourselves.
Look at you. Gotten a bit dark, haven't we?
Well,
I would just be more concerned with the fact that if it is becoming a big enough problem, then those in power, would actually, if it forces their sight to come onto this lovely little piece of landscape that you call your own, then they might get irritated enough to, what is that word I'm looking for? It is quite eradicate, I think might be a good one. Either way, you get my point. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to ensure that you continue on living in a manner of speaking, and we can continue on being the way that we are.
Right. And he, his mouth goes into this big smile, full of those yellow, messed up teeth, and he's like, eradicate. Yeah. That's interesting. That's real interesting. Well, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it back to Brimmer because, Rafe, you've got a point, mate. You've got a point. You've got a point about that. Eventually, the ivory tower is going to come cascading down into the East End, looking for God knows what. And I mean, they don't want to be here. We don't want them there. So, yeah, I guess this is something that's going to have to go back to Brimmer. And Myron is like, he's just absent-mindedly cleaning a glass. Just like, he feels pretty awkward at this point. He's just like, do. Like,
I'm helping him
whatever.
clean glass as well. Back there.
You're cleaning a glass as well,
I'm cleaning
Tommy.
the glass as well.
That's funny.
Right.
And Myron looks at Tommy and he kind of like smiles and he's like, yeah.
Right. Well, when you return to your prince, there are two pertinent pieces of information that, in a manner of, showing good faith, we are providing you to help, we'll say, stimulate the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The party responsible, we believe, is Kindred. But then they're not normal Kindred. Like, and I do not mean to be disparaging in any manner, Mr. Bollocks, but you are normal compared to this creature that we've encountered.
And he starts laughing and he's like, wait till you see Brimmer.
Well,
the bloody thing had
you
wings.
might disagree.
But it had wings and it flew.
The bloody thing had wings and it was very strong and not so
wings.
great on the intelligence spectrum, so to speak, as far as being able to do things on its own. It seemed like there was a compulsion that was more so directing it to do what it does. And yes, it was very close to making a very large mess.
And it's owned by someone named Bollingsworth.
Bollingsworth. I mean,
Indeed.
I ain't never heard that name.
The money.
Well, makes sense in why I don't know him. But interesting. I'll pass the name along to Brimmer. And you said wings and all. And you can see his sunny demeanor seems to crack a little bit at that, and he seems to kind of darken. Yeah, that's not right. It's not on.
Mr. Bollocks,
I
what
don't
does
like
that mean
that.
to you?
What's that?
Mr. Bollocks, what does that mean to you?
I mean, don't mean nothing to me. I mean, obviously, in my position, my brethren, we're an odd-looking sort, typically, and it has a wide variety of ways to present itself, but ain't none of us got wings, mate. So, I don't know. Nothing that I've seen in my nights, but again, my prince, he might know something. He's quite old, you see, quite old indeed. So, he may have seen something. Well, I'll see what I can do. I'll speak to him about. And I mean, you're right. We can't have the medical professionals disappearing, and you see just like the gears turning in his head, because this is like a whole other plate of shit that he was not prepared to take on. He was just trying to get this update about the general gang in the area, so he's just like fuck. And
if you just to add a little bit to that, so you can understand the urgency there, that if you can call it a kindred, its sole purpose was to kill a doctor. So if it's trying to kill one, and was very hard pressed to do so, can you imagine for a moment if that thing, or others like it potentially, were to go through the entire city just taking out doctors for the whim of whoever it is that's controlling it? You'd have much bigger problems than the Camarilla at that point. You would have disease and death and, as Rafe said, lack of a food source.
Ah, fucking hell. And he does that thing where he just pulls on it and it slaps back on his head.
So gross.
Fucking
cringeworthy.
I love this.
Me too. He is in deep thought for a moment, and Myron's still just passing his time. He's like, all right, let's say this. Now, I don't know you fucks, all right? You asking me shit, I don't know you. I ain't never seen you. But the magnitude of what's occurring now, I believe that it's in our best interest for you to also meet with Brimmer. So you're gonna come with me and my mates, but you'll come tomorrow night, and because Myron has got himself an appointment with the prince, don't you, mate? And Myron kind of like gives a little sheepish smile, and he's like, yeah, that's me, just kind of like, he's like, yeah, so we're taking Myron down, so you can come with me, I'll vouch for you, but you'll owe me them.
Right.
Wait, we're gonna owe you for doing you a favor?
You want me to go into the sewers, down with you?
My
no,
friend,
absolutely not.
My friend, we came here looking for information from your pet here, and we are our mission only helps you. And then you say we have to go down and get introduced to your prince, and we owe you for doing what you say?
I mean, I don't have to take you with me. I could just pass on the information and leave you completely out. And I don't think your ivory tower friends will want you coming back empty-handed, right? We're the ones that know what's going on around here.
Oh, darling. Okay, so first, no, I'm not going down. Oh, no, not at all. It's not happening. But if you don't want me to go back and let them know that your person is claiming princedom, well, that's just their own brand of praxis now, isn't it? Would you... Oh, I can't imagine Mithras would be so happy about that. Do you, Rafe? Mr. Price?
No, I'm pretty sure that our dear Prince Mithras would.
Anne would eat it up. She'd think it's fantastic, and it would just be one more little bit that would help push over things just a bit more. And yes, indeed. Your person is claiming praxis. Oh.
Bollocks narrows his eyes.
What a shame.
I think you're misunderstanding me. It's kind of a joke that he's called the prince. He ain't claiming no praxis. Mithras,
I mean, I don't know that, and she won't either.
Mithras tasked Brimmer with looking over this area of the city because he doesn't want to take his poncy ass down there, right? So, it's all in order, love. You don't have to worry about us. Now, if you don't want to come with me, fine. That's fine with me, and I will pass along the information. But he's going to want to know where the information came from, and then, I guess he'll come looking for you. Is there a meeting we could have that would be more to your liking?
Well, exactly.
We could certainly meet here tomorrow night for no boon or promise. we bring information we have and our good word that we will stop these attacks and possibly prevent any further expansion of bloodshed or masquerade breaking.
This is a mutually beneficial exchange.
And then he might tell us what this winged creature is. We don't know if he knows.
And at the end of the day, a stable London benefits all of us, correct? And if, for whatever reason, the exchange of information that needs to happen doesn't because someone decided that they wanted to get a stick up their ass and threw a wrench in the whole works, well then, that's not a risk that we need to be willing to take. In the matter of diplomacy, I think Brimmer should be made aware, and we should be tied in to any communications Brimmer wishes to have with us in regards to our mutual problem.
All right, fine. I'm a reasonable soul at the end of the day. I'm sorry I tried to shake you down for a boom, mate, but we got to all get our own these nights, don't we?
Right, and I don't begrudge you that at all, but it's just that every once in a while the bigger picture needs to be brought into focus. But no hard feelings, and I extend my hand to him freely and willingly.
And he'll take your hand and put his other hand on top of yours and shake it firmly. He's like, "All right, mate. Now, but are you gonna come? Are you gonna come to our house, or I don't think she wants to go to the tunnel."
No, absolutely not. They can go.
It's not a sewer as such. It's off a legitimate tunnel. It's not some kind of. There's not shit rolling down. It's just a. And he seems just in a bit of a huff about that.
We can't meet here.
Here at the dancer.
Yeah. It's still your turf, but it's a little bit
that
easier
should be
for
far
us.
more.
I mean, it's
acceptable.
quite difficult for Brimmer.
Does Brimmer's physical body prevent them from leaving their domain?
You could say that.
Then you're gonna need to meet us at wherever we meet.
Let's do this. One second while I reference something.
I understand what I said was redundant, but
that's okay. I didn't think anything of it. Oh boy. Fine. Then let's meet at Wapping Woods. You know the Wapping Woods in this neighborhood?
Ben does not know what Wapping Woods is.
Right. So it's just pretty much like it's in this urban area. It's this like small area of just like it's like a tree, an area with a bunch of trees in it, but it's open.
Space.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to track down a house owner to invite me in before we meet this guy.
Yeah, no, this is not. There's no interior. It's all just exterior stuff. So you would not have an issue there.
Okay.
Wapping Woods. So it'll be it's gonna be tough to get him there, but I'll do my best to convince him to come out the tunnels. It's gonna be slow going for him, so I'll have to find God.
Look,
it's not gonna be big enough, and fuck.
Look. If at the end of the day, would it upset anybody if one of us went down as the go-between? It's obvious that Lillian, you've got some hang-ups going underground, and I don't blame you. It's not a pleasant place to be. but just for the sake of convenience, if one of us would like to volunteer tonight or in the future to act as a representative just to help facilitate this exchange, I'm sure we can come to some sort of an agreement.
That is a splendid idea, Rafe. I'm so glad you volunteered.
Well, I kind of assumed that it was going to be my job anyway. I'm the kid here. Someone's got to do the shit job.
Look at you. You're much smarter than I took you for originally.
Rafe, I'll accommodate you. I'll join you.
Oh, well, thank you, Tommy. That's not necessary, but that'd be appreciated.
And if it's a backstacking gang hideout massacre, I can at least come back and tell the others what happened to you.
That works. Does that work with you, Mr. Bollocks?
Yeah, all right. I don't really want to hear her bitching anyway. So, yeah, fine. You'll come to the Rotherwith Tunnel. You would know.
This down some more.
Yeah, so this Rotherwith, I'm not entirely sure that's how you say it, but it's basically to almost directly east of where you are, and it basically leads to this it's a huge tunnel that goes under the Thames. So and it was constructed not too long before that, but it's this huge tunnel, and there are basically then some offshoots from the tunnel. So but you would know that the tunnel was there. That name would, to most of you, I would say, it would be familiar. So it's like, so Bollocks, he kind of nods his head again. He says, all right, tomorrow night, let's say 11.
Right.
And I'll meet you and your boy. And he looks at Tommy and he smiles, just kind of digging his vibe. And he says, all right, you'll meet me there. I'll take you down and you'll have your moment with Brimmer. And Myron, Myron, you got an audience now. You're gonna get an audience for when you talk to the prince. It's gonna be so exciting for you, mate. And Myron's just like, yeah, been waiting a long time. I'm ready. I promise I'm ready. And Bob says, well, all right. You have anything else before I leave?
If you wouldn't mind, if all four of us went to the meeting tomorrow night, and then just Tommy and myself went down while Miss Crawford and Mr. Price acted as a rear guard of sorts, just in case. You never know.
Fine. Yeah.
Just in case. I want to make sure that anything that happens is on the up and up with you. It's all in the matter of diplomacy, of course.
Diplomacy, right? Yeah, I appreciate that, mate. That's good. Good on you. So yeah, all of y'all can show up, and we'll I'll take the two of you down, and you can have your rear guard, as it were. But on that note, he reaches into he's got like a vest on. He reaches into the vest pocket and he pulls out 3 vials similar to the ones that Tommy was reaching for not too long ago, and he puts them on the counter. He's like, he looks at Myron, for you, mate, just a little extra. I want you to be in really good form tomorrow, all right? Really good form, your top form, all right? And Myron says, yeah, thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. All right, and Bollocks moves out from behind the bar. He kind of squares up not too far from the doorway with his other 2 guys who've just been observing this whole time. And he says, all right, mates, let's get the fuck out of here. And
Myron, you stay.
and then Bollocks, before he goes out the door, he pivots one more time back. He's like, oh wait, okay, what's everybody's name again? It's Walter, and then it's Rafe, and then Lillian. Oh, Mr.
Yes.
Price. I'm sorry, Mr. Price.
Mr. Price.
Mr. Price, and you, mate. Did I get your name? And he points at Tommy.
You'll get it soon enough.
Don't worry, bruv. He's already got it. He knew all our names when he walked in here.
And he smiles. And Bollocks, Guts, and Tenor all leave the drunken dancer and presumably head back to their Nosferatu abodes. So Myron is kind of standing there behind the bar, and he's just like shaking off this whole like dust up. Just the whole night, the whole thing is going way different. He thought he was just going to give this report, and now he's got this whole ragtag group of kindred, and he's like, all right, it's going to be interesting then. Hope I can
Myron.
do it.
Hey,
Yes.
Myron.
Yeah, mate.
What kind of reputation do we have that he knew who we are?
I mean, I know that, you know, the tunnels, the East End, is mostly not observed very much by the Ivory Tower, but Bollocks is Brimmer's number one. And Brimmer, like Bollocks said, even though, you know, you may not believe him, but he is sanctioned by the prince. And he says, and he was Mithras. He is sanctioned by him. So, I mean, Brimmer knows a lot. It's not just that he has this position, but it's like, they're Nosferatu, you know. They know stuff. That's what they do.
Sure.
All right. So what are you so excited about tomorrow night, Ova? What's going on? What are my comrade and I going to be watching tomorrow night?
Oh, I mean, it's nothing too special. It's all, well, I've been working for them, you know, through the Nosferatu blokes. I've been working for them for quite a number of years now, and you know, any gestures to the vials of blood. I mean, you understand that, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I've been working with the Broken Mouths, with Bollocks, and they said that they were going to make me one of them if I could prove myself. And this is Brimmer's final evaluation, as it were.
Watch your back. Watch yourself.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, they ain't never done wrong by me. I mean, they gave me an opportunity when I was wasting away into nothing.
How long have you been working for them?
Let's see. Probably about 4 years.
What happened to the person before you?
I don't fucking know. I mean, I'm not the only one. Like, I'm just one of many. I mean, East End's only one part. It's only one neighborhood. London's a big city.
How much behind the curtain have they introduced you to?
I mean, I met Brimmer.
Right.
I met him many times. I mean, Bollocks.
Well, good luck to you in your new. Good luck to you in your new life.
Well, no. See, no,
Right.
you said this is an evaluation. This isn't a done deal.
Does it
Why?
matter,
I mean-
Rafe?
Well, I mean,
What
I'd like
happened
to...
with him and the others the other Nosferatu of their sort, is none of our business. We have a job to do. We know what we're supposed to do. What they do with this one and what they don't do with this one is none of your concern, or mine, or Mr. Price, or Tommy for that matter.
Well, he's supposed to help us, and so I'd like to give him a little bit of a warning of whatever group he's thinks he's going to join.
He's not exactly helping us. It is them that is helping us. They are the ones going to give us whatever information it is that they can. Not this one. This one was just the doorway to get to the others.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be walking into some sort of weird, perverse ghoul fighting ring. You know,
more than likely they're just going to eat him if they don't turn him.
Right.
And Myron's like,
either way, it's a show.
Precisely.
I mean, I know you'll, you know, I mean, I don't know how old you are and what you've seen and everything like that, but I mean, I have faith in them. They're not the bad sort. They done right by me. I was nothing, and now I'm doing well in my own way.
Well, you've been serving them longer than I've been a kindred, so more power to you tomorrow, mate. That's just how it's gonna be, I guess.
Oh dear. Really?
Yeah.
4 years for this one, and you let... Oh dear. That it all makes so much sense now. I get it.
So, Myron, I just wanted to let you know that Harvey's going to be okay. I want you to watch out for yourself, because they seem like a dangerous sort. And I just need to know anything else that you have about why doctors are being targeted in London.
Right. I mean, I think maybe the bodies in the Thames could have something to do with that. But like I say, I don't know if there's been a doctor or a nurse or whatnot in the ranks. It's mainly just the poor folk. They're not looking into it very hard.
And you think it's the bloody fists that are doing this?
That putting the bodies in the Thames.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who else could be responsible right now.
So it's an assumption.
I have a decent amount of information at my disposal.
So it's an educated guess then.
Indeed, as educated as one of my station might be, and he like kind of looks at his like sailor tattoos.
I go stoic on him. There's more education than learning. You are a smart man.
Yeah, I know that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have selected me.
Clearly.
Right, obviously I had some kinds of quality. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done this. Man, I know you lot don't trust easy. I know that you're more prone to distrust, but I just feel like you don't really know this type. You don't really understand them. I mean, none of you, one of them. So I just think, why don't you come with an open mind? Would you do that for me?
I've got no problem.
Myron, I'll be there with an open mind.
So talk to them. I ain't going.
However, I have one quick question before we disperse and leave this tavern to you.
Oh, wait a minute. I just noticed you're a Yank. What are you doing here?
I got my reasons.
Right. I figured you'd be celebrating after the war's over now.
There's always a war going on.
You came in all late to save the day. You almost missed it.
Believe me, I have never been late to a war.
Is that right? Well, I ain't been in a war, but I see my share of the sea, and weren't very pretty out there either.
No. Now, your pal Bollock's there. You're part of the Broken Mouths.
Yeah, it's the gang. He's the head of the gang.
Do you know of any of us maybe with the bloody fists?
Not to my knowledge. They just, the regular folk. Up until this point.
Well, just
I haven't. No one's. I don't know anything about kindred in the Bloody Fist.
keep an ear.
In the past, ain't been the case. Just mortals, going about their bloody business.
Yeah,
no kindred though.
But now we have a kindred with a gang called the Broken Mouths that we didn't know about. So if you can keep an ear to the ground and make sure you hear anything, your pals in the Nosferatu clan will be big on info, and I feel like that would be something that they would be of interest in. And all I ask for is for you to possibly pass that information to me as well.
Yeah, all right. Keeping my ear to the ground is kind of my entire life's purpose at this point, wouldn't you say? So yeah, I'll continue to do that, as is my directive. Now, they ain't shit more I can tell you about what's going on. I'm glad dear Ravi sent you here to me. Obviously, I think this connection needed to be made. Now, wait a minute. And he looks at Walter. Does Williamson know about, what you are?
No. He's with me group, staying in a secure location, and it'd be a shame if he found out in some way.
I guess as long as he's safe for now, I can't really complain, but you really need to keep your wits about you. If he finds out, I don't know what he'd do. He's a good sort. But...
Unfortunately.
I look at everybody else. He's fine.
Myron, if you don't mind, a small piece of advice for you, dear. I understand you trust your friends, and that's fantastic. But don't fool yourself. We're all monsters, in one form or another.
I don't know. Rather I'd be a monster than a nobody.
That's your choice entirely. Just don't kid yourself and think that you're doing some kind of miraculous work or something extraordinary with your life or their unlife at that point. It's all self-serving. And even when it's not self-serving, it's still very self-serving. Just keep that in mind. Don't trick yourself into believing you are a saint or something biblical.
No, it ain't as big as all that, Mum. I'm just a man. I'm trying to get a better life for myself. And I'm on the path that I've deemed correct for me. And to be quite frank, you know nothing of my past. You don't know where I've been. You don't know the people that I've met. You make a lot of assumptions. You think I'm some kind of nonce, some kind of idiot who is too trusting. You can believe that. What other people think of me is none of my business. I'm just here.
I don't think you're an idiot. If you're an idiot,
I think you're the type that thinks everyone's an idiot, though.
If you were an idiot, you'd already be dead.
That's right, certainly.
Well, he's a big boy. It's time for me to get going.
She's gonna put a few gold coins, or I don't even know what fucking.
Oh, I was supposed to give you the currency primer. I have it ready for you after this.
I don't know what the fucking currency is in London.
It's fine.
Shillings and pence.
Yeah, so you put maybe one shilling on there. Let's say you just.
I would have given him a pretty significant.
Oh, okay.
I've got a lot, so yeah, he would have.
Okay, so you'd probably give him quite a few then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And he looks at it and he kind of just nods. He's like, "Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. And but I'm gonna get back to my listening to the ground, so I can maybe get some more info for you all. But what a night it's been. Didn't expect it. But ain't that the spice of it all? Never a dull moment in the East End. Anyway, it's at this point that I think we're going to take a little bit of a break. So we will see you all when we get back. Get some water, stretch, take care of yourself. See you in a minute. Hello, and welcome back to Martlet Games. This is our London's Bleeding Chronicle. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you got some good stretches and water in, and we are going to get right back into the story. So the coterie has just had an informative tete-a-tete with the Nosferatu bollocks, his two clanmates, and then Myron Bond, who's running the Drunken Dancer pub. And there were a lot of words exchanged, some awkwardness, some sass, and some shade. And here we are. Myron had kind of was just acknowledging things at the end of their conversation. So he's just sort of gone back to absent-mindedly cleaning the bar and is sort of back in that faraway mental place that he was when you all came in.
Right. Well, where do we move from here? Is there anything else any other pressing business that we needed to attend to before we have our meeting tomorrow night?
I mean, we could always go and see if anything has been discovered as far as the wine glass.
The bottling company.
Right. Yeah,
that's a possibility.
Yeah, I'd have to check in with my person there to see if they've actually uncovered anything, or if they, hopefully
are
they
dead.
Didn't. Yeah, I was unfortunately thinking that. That's always a possibility, unfortunately, when you're dealing with kindred business.
ST, what time of night is it right now?
I'd say it's like 1:32.
So we still got a little bit of time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also like to check the morgue at some point.
The morgue might be a little easier.
Take a look at those bodies that were dragging out of the Thames.
And that would be significantly capable of being done.
Right, that's as good a plan as any. I've actually, I could make good use out of this little excursion too. More background information regarding my articles.
Okay, so you all want to go back to Wetterman Hospital to check on the situation there and to potentially get into the morgue. That's fine. The hospital is not super far away. It's kind of like one of those awkward distances where you could walk there, you could take a car. It won't take you long to walk, but it will take you probably a half an hour.
Oh no, Lillian has a car. She's not walking.
Okay. That's kind of what I figured. So
being seen here? Oh no.
Right. So do you want to pile everybody into your car and get out of there to the hospital?
I suppose. If you would all like a bit of a ride, I suppose I can manage it.
I'd appreciate it, and I'm going to make a point that when I do actually get the chance to sit down in the car, I'm making sure not to, I'm mindful of where I put my feet. I'm not.
Don't touch anything. Please.
Yes, Mom. I'm being careful. And actually, while we're on our way over there, I wouldn't mind having a little conversation with Lillian, if that's all right.
Please.
So, yeah, I'm sorry that you didn't get an all-powerful elder when you ran across me, Mom. That's an unavoidable circumstance of the war, unfortunately.
I don't need an elder. I just need someone that is capable.
Well, I am capable. If you'd just
If
you'd give me the opportunity, I obviously have a handle on how things can work around here. I would manage to work out an arrangement here for tomorrow night. Wouldn't you? As far as I'm concerned, that's a satisfactory result. Wouldn't you agree?
Sure. You managed to make an arrangement for a meeting with a Nosferatu prince of sorts. Very good. Would you like a pat on the back for that?
No, but I would like some basic decency every once in a while. I am worth something around here. I can contribute.
Well, if it is that important for you to be acknowledged as contributing, fine. When you contribute, I will be sure to make sure that all of us will pat you on the back and tell you what a good job you've done.
That's not
Is that suitable?
Well, no. That's not what I'm looking for. It's this exact conversation that we're having right now. I understand that.
Do you think that I get a pat on the back every time that I do something of significant substance? Do you think that Anne, the Seneschal of London, rings me up and says, "Oh, Lillian, let me tell you how wonderful you are. You have done the best job ever. Oh my God, I'm so glad that you are part of the Camarilla. I'm so glad you're here. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." Do you really think that that happens? Do you think that anybody phones me, tells me, talks to me, anything of the sort? No, they don't bloody do it. You just do your goddamn job, get stuff done, and maybe by a little sliver of maybe, you will have the opportunity to expand your horizons a bit. You might have that moment when you are given the opportunity to rise above a station that you are currently cemented in. It's the times when you think that you are owed a bit of gratitude, that you are owed something more than what you actually are, that you lessen yourself. Don't whine about not being recognized for what you are contributing. It's recognized. Understand that it is very much so recognized because we are getting a little bit further. But don't expect anybody else to give you a pat on the back or a handshake or a crumpet or any fucking else that they could give you. It's not going to happen. And if I'm the one that's going to be there, that has to be there to pat you on the back, you're not going to rise above that station at all.
Well, no,
do you understand?
No. Well, no, you do not understand. And you're just illustrating my point that you're already in the fucking club, Mom. And all I'm looking for is just the fact that I exist, and I do not need to be treated as if I'm a second-class citizen.
But you are in their eyes.
Treat me with a little bit of common decency is all I ask. I'm not asking for recognition, I'm asking for acknowledgement.
Rafe, can you please roll willpower for me?
Yep, I thought that one was coming.
I was like, I can't let that one slide.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. I gotta double check my Okay, nope, I'm good. Okay.
You should. I think you'll be fine.
I think I'm good. It's 5. I'm good.
5 is a lot.
Oh yeah, that's 4. Yes, I'm
yeah. So on that roll, you're standing. You're not standing, literally, but
we're in the
you're
car.
Standing. Yeah, you're in the car. You're standing. figuratively, you're stalwart. Like you're gonna fight for this acknowledgement that you seek. You're not going to be like battered into submission like you have been. Like it's at this moment that you do feel like this surge of just pure will and desire to assert yourself, like, because Lillian is like representing this like kindred society that you're like trying to enter, and at every turn she just smacks you down and is like, you're not part of this, at least not yet. And so you're kind of just like connecting all the dots, and you're like, no, like in order to get the place that I want, I have to stand up for myself, which is what you're doing. And you're doing so, you're not shaken at all with that role. Like you're just, you're good. So please continue.
And just as an aside, it is nice to see that you do have a heart and you do have a soul. I do see that you did show Myron at least some compassion over what's going to happen tomorrow, even if it was a stern dose of reality. That does show that you do somewhat care. So you're not, I don't completely disdain you, Mom. I do respect you. It's just I'm looking for a little bit of, hey, I exist.
And what I'm trying to teach you is that you're not going to get that from anybody else in the tower. It's not going to happen. Do I appreciate the work that you have done thus far? Yes, I do. You've gotten us a bit further. Tommy's gotten us a bit further. Mr. Price has gotten us a bit further. Fantastic. The problem is if you go anywhere near anyone other than myself that is associated with the hierarchy of the tower, and you say that you want to be acknowledged, the only acknowledgement you're going to get is laughter. That's how they operate. Do you think that I'm in the inner workings of the hierarchy? No, I have contracts. They need things from me in order to expand their own horizons. That's the only reason that I am in the position that I am in. Do you understand that? You have to have something that they want from you. It's not about your good works or what you can accomplish. It's not about that. It's what do you have to offer them? If you have something of value that you can offer to them, then you will rise above your station and you will slowly start to build your way up. The more you have to offer that improves their well-being and what they're trying to accomplish, the more you will continue to rise up. The point is that you have to make it harder to get. You have to make it seem like it is not so much of you wanting to do for them, but more so that they need you. Because if they ever suspect that they don't need you, that you're actually looking for their acknowledgement, their pat on the back.
Tommy, what's your feeling right now? What is Tommy feeling as he observes this exchange?
Tommy was about to speak up a little bit, and
okay, I'm sorry.
Are we just sitting here uncomfortably?
Yes,
absolutely.
You're by the way, I'd like to say these cars are not roomy. Okay,
no, we're kind of crammed in here.
Squished in there, and they're having this exchange. Walter, what about you?
I mean, frankly, I completely agree with Lillian. And if I'm going to speak to Rafe, it's going to be to the effect of, these fuckers are exploitative. Don't give them shit. And next time you give information in good faith, don't give them the whole bag.
And sorry, so Tommy, did you want to say something?
I was going to say, Mom is right. She's completely right on that. You need to have something that they need because they don't want you. Higher ups, no matter how you look at it, they don't want you. They need you if you want to go that up. Just like the war has gone on, We have our own style, just the same way the humans do. And what that style is that once you're dead, there's going to be 2 more that come and take your place.
And Rafe, as you're sitting here listening to all these fuego takes on the situation, Rafe, you thoughts of Marie, her face appears at the front of your brain. You flash back to all of these moments that you had together, and as Lillian is speaking, like you just, as everyone's speaking, you just you see her in front of your eyes.
Yep, and I'm thinking about that last fight that we had before Rafe went back to the continent.
Right.
And how the it was, yeah, he was on the receiving end of something similar instead of he's been on the receiving end of one of these conversations where he
absolutely,
yes,
this is not new.
Yes.
Okay, and then sorry, Walter, did you want to also?
No, I mean it's like looking at Rafe, and it's like you don't have to play their game. When you get strong enough, you can make your own rules.
Right, and I've just got plenty of room to, either.
I mean, you don't have to look at me as an example, but I mean,
well,
please don't. But it's like fuck those people.
But the fact of the matter is, I've got a lot
Lillian,
of learning to
all
do.
due respect.
But I understand that I've got some learning to do, but don't just pick me up by the scruff of my neck and toss me aside and say, oh, you know what, you're fucking this up. Here, let me do this. Let me fuck it up.
Oh, believe me, when we grab you by the neck, we'll make sure that it's you the one that fucks it up.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
And as you're kind of accepting that, car ride's not too far, not too long, so you're going to arrive out front of those wrought iron gates of Waterman Hospital, where we started our journey. So I imagine all of you are going to get out of the car, and are you just heading right into the front entrance, or
I'm looking for anybody I know.
You actually give me wits and awareness.
I'll tell everybody,
please.
hang back a bit.
Okay, so yeah, give me wits and awareness, please.
You got 2.
2. You see, I am not sure if you remember, but there was a young soldier that had briefly come up to you while you were on guard duty. Private Elwood, yes. So he is again like hanging around, kind of. He's not like on a gurney or in a bed. Like you think he's a patient. Like you're not entirely sure because he always seems to be up and about. But he's got a crutch under one arm. And he's just sort of like, maybe he's just kind of stretching his legs. So you see him sort of just like walking amongst the tents that are set up in the front of the hospital. He's not talking to anybody. He's just doing that. In terms of outside of the hospital, like you don't see anybody else that you would recognize right now.
Who's manning the gate right now?
I
suppose I'd have to walk up or something, but
yeah. I mean, you could probably see it's not a super long distance. So he just looks like your typical muscle. Like okay. He's just he's the only one you see right now, like providing a security type of thing. But yeah, you don't like recognize him personally, but
Okay.
he's a large guy, probably like 6'2", lots of muscles,
Sure.
stern face. Yeah.
Okay. So we start. Okay, I'll point it right. We have to find Dr. Williamson. He should be here today.
Okay.
So start walking toward the hospital.
Okay, so you all enter through the front entrance. You see that long desk there, the long front desk. There's 2 women receptionists. They look bad. They look super ashen-faced, puffy eyes. Their hair is probably not quite as like tightly pulled back as they should have it for their job. And why don't you all give me wits and insight, if you would, please?
Yes.
2.
2.
1.
2.
Okay.
5, and one of those is a crit.
Wow. Your rolls
Pretty
are wild
stars.
for sure. Nice. Okay, so
Who knows what I'm thinking?
Right. So Rafe, you got 1. It's easy to see that even for being in this flu situation and like post-war, like it looks even busier than normal. Like people are running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Like it's like borderline pandemonium. Like there's shit falling, there's like you can just tell it's really busy. The people that rolled 2, you'll notice in addition to all of that stuff, you will notice that you haven't seen a doctor yet. Like most of the people that are running around, they're like either nurse or janitorial or orderlies or somebody else. Like there's no one in that like standard lab coat. It also seems to be like a lot of the women. Like you don't see as many men, male staff running around. And then Lillian on a critical success. You would remember that Dr. Corcoran is like the guy that they're sort of like bringing in. He's like the other doctor, main doctor on shift that you guys haven't met yet. But you would kind of think in the back of your mind, okay, like he should probably be here somewhere, presumably, in addition to Dr. Williamson. And you will also notice that behind the desk, like right at the base of the stairs that go up to the administration area and like the drug holding area, right off to the side of the stairs, you can see Nurse Jackie, who you might remember is kind of the short, stout woman that sort of is fond of Dr. Williamson. She's sitting on the stairs and she's trying to hide it, but she's crying.
I rush up to her. Nurse, what's wrong? What's wrong? What happened?
It's so awful. It's so awful. I can't believe it. Like, I mean, there's only so much I can take, you know. It's like, there's so much going on and this is too much. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't. And she's just in her hands, just sobbing.
Where are all of the doctors?
I mean, Dr. Corcoran called Williamson upstairs to his office to talk about what happened.
What about what happened?
It's Dr. Gray. They found him.
What do you mean they found him? What happened? What?
And she sort of leans away from you. She's still like sitting. It's like, who are you? You don't work here. I don't know who you are.
Oh, it's okay. Hush, hush. I'm going to put my hand up. I'm going to gently run my hand down the side of her face, and I'm going to activate Obeah.
Okay, so that is a rouse check, please.
Yes. I fail.
Okay,
so
as you
hunger 2.
Hunger 2, okay. And you see Marie again at the front of your vision, almost like she's there. She's not saying anything. She is almost like crumpled to the ground and is looking up at you with this same face of anguish that you're seeing on the face of Nurse Jackie.
I'm going to save you. Just, you gotta stay strong. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
And can you please roll me composure and aspects?
Yes, I'm getting my sheet pulled up right now there for that.
Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that is 1, 2, 3 successes.
Great. Fantastic. So Jackie seems almost immediately calmed from this turmoil that she's experiencing. She stops crying. She takes a deep breath. She kind of like smooths her hair down, and she says, I'm sorry, it's not like me. I'm stronger than this. I don't need saving. I just
Right. No, just stay strong. These are hard times. We've all got to work together. We've all got to pull together. You're going to do a great job here. I trust you to be able to take care of these patients without any of the doctors. You do most of the work anyway. I've been in the trenches. I've seen the work that you nurses do. You're worth more than 10 doctors.
They won't let me be a doctor, will they? They won't let me. That's all I wanted was to be a doctor.
No.
But they won't. But whatever, you're right.
So
I'm worth more than them anyway.
I offer my hand to her to help her up off the ground.
She takes your hand and will be helped up by you.
And I just I place one my other hand over hers. You'll be fine. I trust you to do a great job.
Right. I back to it, I suppose.
Right.
Back to it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
welcome.
I feel better. Thank you. So she nods and she walks towards the women's ward.
Wait,
of the
Miss
hospital.
Jackie.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for Dr. Williamson. Where can I find him now?
Like I told, sorry, what's your name? And she looks at you, Rafe.
Oh, I forgot my pen name real quick. Hold on.
GL, wasn't it?
It's
GL
Thornborough.
Thornborough. I'm
GL
GL Thornborough. I've been doing some work here in the hospital lately, Mom. I'm a reporter. Been doing some research.
Pleased to make your acquaintance then. Dr. Williamson, he Dr. Corcoran just came in, you see, so on his shift, so he wanted to talk to Dr. Williamson. I'm assuming about what happened here. So I don't think you should go up there. So I'll go get him. I'll tell him that someone needs to speak to you. And your name is, and looks at Walter.
I'm Walter Price. I'm the Night Elf.
Walter, sorry.
We've met dozens of times.
Right. Sorry.
Well,
My mind's not...
Lillian will walk up and she's going to be like, "Hello, darling. Lillian Crawford. I technically, in one form or another, kind of own this. Well, I've made a sizable donation, enough to buy this place twice over. Nonetheless, if you don't mind, I believe there was supposed to be a new doctor starting soon, was there not?"
I haven't seen any new doctor yet.
Worthington, I think was his name, perhaps. No, not yet.
No.
I must just talk to Dr. Williamson right now. Could you please take me there? Don't dawdle, come along, and I'm gonna walk forward and kind of give them the motion to follow.
Right. You're not gonna have to roll for that because there's no way that she can compete with you in the pool.
There is no skill buffalo, so
no.
So you said like 5 different names there, so it's going.
I'm not even using an ability. It's just Lillian, just like talk, move.
Yep.
Right.
That's her thing. Talk, move.
Just overwhelm them. And Jackie is thoroughly overwhelmed. So
guerrilla warfare.
She will not hesitate, and she will bring you up the stairs, and then you actually will, at the top of the stairs, you'll kind of go just slightly left and then into a very, very large office with like 2 really big doors. This is not the same office that you were in our first session when you were intercepting the creature. This is a different office. So she takes you there, and on the way, as you're like going up the stairs, Nurse Jackie kind of sidles up to Walter. She's really, really short. She's like 5 foot tall, so she like tries to sort of slip her arm in Walter's, and she says, I'm so sorry, it's just I'm trying to keep track of so much, and I mean, you do a good job. It's like, I forgot. I'm so sorry. I don't mean no offense to you, sir.
No apologies necessary, ma'am. It is a hard time, and fatigue makes fools of us all. It's very important that we talk to Dr. Williams.
Right, of course. So you reach the top of the stairs, and she like kind of struggles to get this huge door open. And it opens inward, and you see Dr. Corcoran. This is your first time seeing him. This kind of other doctor, high up in the hierarchy of the hospital, but obviously Dr. Gray had been the head. So Dr. Corcoran is he's a really, really tall fellow. He's like 6'4". He's pretty well built, like not slender, like kind of like a little bit more than an average build for his height. He's got dark brown hair, cut really close to his face, and he's got some like really tiny little spectacles perched on his nose, and he's in the white lab coat. And he's probably about 60 years old, that you can tell, and they're having what looks like a very serious discussion. Lots of furrowed brows and low volume speaking tones. So Nurse Jackie kind of like shuffles up to them, and she's like, Dr. Williamson, Dr. Corcoran, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but some people need to speak to you. Seem quite important, so I just brought them up. I figured maybe you have a moment before you have to start attending to your rounds. And she, like, as she finishes, she sort of like backs away immediately. And Williamson turns towards you all and he goes, "Oh my, I'm so glad to see you all again. I'm very, oh goodness. it's such a terrible, terrible time. And he looks at Dr. Corcoran. Dr. Corcoran, these people had been at the hospital the other night, and they did provide me with some assistance as I had gotten into an accident, as I told you a bit earlier, and they had helped me recover from that, especially dear Mr. Price, and he gestures to Walter. So they're a fine sort, and they must have some reason to come here. And Dr. Corcoran, he kind of stares a hole into Harvey there, and just is kind of looking at him with these, like, he's got these like really dark brown eyes, and he's sort of staring through them, and he says, just throw another one on the pile, I suppose, the middle of the night, and God help us all. Please come in and please state your case. Like, we must get back to work.
Right. That's all well and good. Hi, Lillian Crawford, benefactor of this hospital, if you will. It is good to see you here, although I'm not sure why I haven't met you beforehand. I do know Dr. Williamson. You are new. I like new. New is good. Yes.
How can I help you?
Getting to that. This is Rafe and Tommy and Mr. Price right here, and I believe they might have a few questions to ask you. I would be very grateful if you would just answer honestly, so we can get this whole insurance thing sorted out here. No problem at all.
Right. First things first. Why aren't the two of you fucks out there helping your nurses right now? Your hospital's falling apart.
And Dr. Corcoran is taken aback by the language and the tone, and he sort of steps back and he's like, excuse me, sir.
No, my fucking wife is a patient here in this hospital.
Well, I'd like to see how you handle when the head of your hospital has been found dead just outside of the hospital walls.
Call the constables and get the fuck back to work. Get out there.
Right. No pissing contest here. Just,
well, yes.
Can we please get to the point of all of this? Thank you very much. And then they can get to work and we can continue on our way, what we were doing in the first place. Thank you very much. Let's continue.
Right. So, the bodies in the Thames.
The bodies in the Thames.
Yes.
What about them?
Yes, what about them?
I mean, do you know where you are? This whole area was a slum. I mean,
where are they?
There are bodies in
right
the Thames.
Now. Where are those bodies right now?
Where do you think? They're in the morgue, like where all
Fantastic, you'll show us, won't you? Shall we?
Tommy takes off to the morgue.
You just leave?
Yeah, I just leave.
I'm gonna tag along behind them. This looks like this is going to be fun.
I was about to say, if he takes off, that's absolutely fine. Rafe was correct. You two should both on with your duties. There are very sickly people in this hospital, and I'm
bloody hell.
I'm not paying for this to continue. Get to work, you two. We will sort out the matter of, what was that doctor's name? Gray, Mr. Gray. We'll sort that out ourselves. Thank you very much. Continue on about your night, and I think I heard a bit of coughing in like the wing over there, around the corner from the nurses' station. If you could just see to that. We have some inspectors coming soon. We don't want we don't want you to fail an inspection at this time.
Ma'am, I do not know who you are. I don't know what your contributions to the hospitals have been. I will need to see this paperwork, but I do not have time. I will not be directed by you. I will not be treated like the rest of the riffraff in this neighborhood. You have no power here currently, so I am going to continue to do my work here with the flu, with these patients from the war, with all sorts of manner of things. You will not steamroll me here, I'm sorry to say. But what I will do is I will have the good Dr. Williamson take you to the morgue so you will get out of my bloody hair. As this man is correct, Rave, I do have duties to attend to in the hospital to, I don't know, save the lives, while you riffraff are going to look at a corpse in the morgue. So I will be on my way. Williamson, please show them to the morgue, and please get them the hell out of here as soon as possible. Thank you so much. And Dr. Corcoran, sorry, what, Ray?
I flip open my notepad and I look over to Lillian. How do you spell Corcoran again? I mean, this is going to make for a great reading when it's in the paper.
Do make a note that we are going to cut his pay significantly.
I do believe that would be rather unfortunate, and once news certainly hits the papers, I'm sure other charitable contributions towards this hospital would surely plummet.
Absolutely. I know that the others that I work with that specifically love to donate for causes like this will be so heartbroken to find out that I'm retracting my funding from this establishment. What a pity, what a loss.
Don't piss off a husband, Cochrane. And I walk along with Tommy.
Where the bloody hell is Worthington? And I walk out too.
Okay. So
it was just me and Dr.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay, so
Walter.
Who'd have thought I was the one trying to be subtle?
Jesus Christ. Okay, so this is what happens. Rafe and Tommy and Lillian all go back down the stairs, presumably through the men's ward to the side entrance to where the morgue is. And Corcoran waits kind of for you three to like make your way, and then he is just huffing down the stairs, just absolutely livid. And then Williamson looks at Walter. He's like,
I will take responsibility.
What's going on here?
I will take responsibility for this. I was just going to come up and say we have answers. We just need to get into the morgue. I don't know why these people went on the warpath like they did. It's very unlike them. But we did speak to your man Myron.
Oh, you met Myron then?
We did.
Oh, that's
we
splendid.
Didn't have a lot of information other than that we were pulling bodies out of the morgue, and that the Red Hand has been causing problems. Have the Bloody Fist been causing problems around here?
Sure. They've been kind of encroaching on the hospital, I've noticed, here and there, but there haven't been, I mean, of course, remains to be seen what happened to poor Dr. Gray, but...
What happened to Dr. Gray?
Tommy.
I mean... I'd like to know myself, sir. An orderly was out at the back of the hospital with some rubbish, and there was the body of Dr. Gray, split ear to ear, blood everywhere, as I'm told, and a very, very nasty sight. And from there, we've been trying to do damage control ever since. It's just we don't need this right now. We really don't. And it's been very, very, very difficult this day, though I do appreciate what you had done for me the night after my accident.
We're not finished yet.
Oh, certainly not.
Have you seen my man Clarence? You would have met him. He showed you to safety last night.
Oh yes, Clarence. He was quite nice. He's a friend of yours.
Yeah, but he hasn't been around. You haven't seen him tonight.
I have not as of yet.
Okay.
But I mean, as you can see, it's madness. So it's very possible he could have been here at any certain time. And I mean, the night is still in full swing.
So it's very important that you follow me to the morgue, because I can look at bodies, but I cannot say cause of death or any of that. We need medical training to tell us exactly what happened to these bodies that came out of the Thames. Can you spare 10 minutes?
Yes, obviously I don't want any additional problems, so I'm willing to comply.
I can't
obviously I don't
that.
want your your friends, your associates.
We'll call them
I can't have
associates
them
for now.
calling. I can't have them doing this constantly in this hospital. So please let us make haste to the morgue and get this over with, if you please.
Yes.
Okay, so Williamson and Walter will
double
follow.
time. We're catching up.
Double time. Yeah, you're catching up. So you all, meet outside the morgue. Williamson will pull out a key and he will open the metal door to the morgue, and you all will walk in. Obviously it's extremely cold in there. It's cold in a way that's different from the winter cold outside. It feels stale. It feels
refrigerated.
Yeah, and you all feel unsettled, at least slightly, that you're basically corpses walking amongst the corpses. It's a strange feeling. And all of you have seen some shit for sure. So, you're not going to freak out or anything, but it's just a strange strange congruence of circumstances. So you're led into the morgue, and basically what you see is to your right, there is a set of stairs that leads down to a lower floor. There's stairs going up next to it to an additional floor. And then, it's kind of just like white tile. It's not adorned. It's kind of messy. Like, it's not in its best, most organized shape here because of all of the craziness going on. So what happens is Williamson will lead you to the left to go further back, and you will then be in a room with the corpse drawers or whatever.
The slabs.
So the slabs. That's better. So did any of you want to do anything particular when you first come in?
I'm just going to ask Dr. Williamson to take me to some of the corpses that were found from the Thames.
Right.
Lillian is just every few moments whispering over to Rafe, as she's having him taking notes of every little thing that's in there, making it look really official. That
yeah, cool. So Williamson will look at the labels, and he'll sort of go, and he will pull out one of the slabs, and on there you will see a corpse of a woman. Looks to be in her mid-20s, and actually upon pulling her out of there, Rafe and Tommy will recognize her as one of the women from the Randy Dandy brothel. Now, it's not one of the main women that you deal with. She's not part of the blood transactions. Mm-hmm. She's just a regular working girl there. But you will recognize her as her name is Mary. Well, that's what she called herself while she was there. So you'll immediately recognize her, even in this state.
It's Mary from. Oh dear. Oh. Oh no.
Dr. Williamson, has anything been done to this body since it's been in the morgue?
No, in fact, we just took possession of the body last night, in fact, from the Thames. Was found and brought here.
While they're conversing, I will be performing a physical inspection of the body. I'm not going about this in a medical professional manner, but more of what a like a forensics investigator would be looking at.
Okay, why don't you give me gosh, your pool for that is so high. I feel like I'm not gonna make you roll because the pool is double what it would be. So you'll just
succeed at half.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Exactly,
All
succeed at half. Yeah. So you know you're putting your journalism skills to work, like, and as I've said, all of you seen some shit, so this isn't the first time you're looking at a corpse, probably. So wait, what exactly are you?
I'm looking for signs of physical trauma. I'm
Okay.
looking for maybe signs of sloppy kindred feeding, or other signs of just unnatural cause of death, other than this person was a flu victim and got tossed in the river.
Right. Tommy?
I'm gonna ask Dr. Williamson to go talk to Mr. Price for a second while we look over the body.
Yes, all right. Well, if you need to know something, I mean, I hopefully can provide you with that information, but yes.
Absolutely.
So Williamson and Price sort of like slightly walk away.
I'm gonna take a stiletto. I'm gonna take my stiletto out.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cut close to the wrist of the body.
Okay.
Does it bleed?
No. Nothing comes out.
I put the stiletto back.
And so Rafe, in your examination, you're sort of just looking, like you said, for these signs of like sloppy kindred feeding. You do see a bite mark.
Here we go.
Lillian's gonna walk over and she's gonna look at stand near Rafe and Tommy, and she's gonna be like, anything of significance yet?
I use my pencil and I point at the unsealed fang punctures in the neck. Well,
I would say that is absolutely significant. Good job.
And she's been drained, so.
And additionally, so she is like kind of like her front half is like covered in like a paper gown, so she's not like nude
on full display.
Right. So, but because the paper gown has sort of been like hastily like applied, because she did just come in like the previous night, and like there hasn't probably been a lot of time for like a detailed examination. You will see that the paper gown is like slightly ripped on the like the right side of her abdomen, and through that you can sort of see it almost looks like it's like a long slash on her abdomen. You can just see it slightly through the paper gown in this tear, that her abdomen, it's like a long slash.
Williamson, come here, please, if you wouldn't mind, doctor.
Oh, of course. And he stands next to you.
And I use my pen once again, and I gesture at the cut or slice or whatever this is. Doctor, what do you make of that?
And he said, I'd like to take a bit of a closer look. And he looks specifically at Lily and he's like, Mom, I must remove this. I hope it won't cause offense if I do so in the journey of examination here, I hope.
Okay,
I mean,
get
I have
on
to.
with it.
Okay, so he basically, what he does is he just sort of like pulls apart the paper gown at her abdomen, like right below her breasts, and to display the full abdomen. And it's not actually just one slash; it's 4 long gashes. They look pretty deep.
Oh, no, you don't see that every day, don't you?
These are claw marks from the looks of it. Do I have that right there, Doctor? These are claw marks.
I mean, we don't deal with many animals necessarily in London, but London itself and the city as such, but I mean, it could be presumed that these do look like claw marks, though. They're quite large, larger than any animal that would exist in the city. That's very perplexing indeed.
Unless the animal is human.
Which is nigh preposterous. Can you see if there's anything
What
inside
kind of weapon?
that's missing?
No. It is only claw marks. It must have been a wolf or something like that. It's not anything.
A wolf in the
odd.
city? What's a wolf doing here?
Has it not happened before? I mean, it's a wolf. When they get hungry, they're going to go wherever they can to find food. Wouldn't it stand to reason that when you can't explain something that looks very animalistic, that the easiest explanation is, in fact, an animal?
Well, I mean, it somewhat stands to reason, I suppose, but just from the sheer size of the
very large
marks.
wolf.
I suppose. And he's just racking his brain.
I'm looking at Walter. Walter, does any of this seem? I'm not necessarily saying specifically familiar, but actually, hold on. Storyteller note. Williamson is like totally 100% down with the fact that we are vampires and vampires are a thing. No. I thought he was in on the.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope, I specifically sent my guys ahead to make sure that was kept under wraps.
That's why I say wolf.
Yes.
We have been forgetful minding him.
Wolf.
Yes.
He's Yeah, he has no.
He has inklings that something is happening
to
physicians, and he's under my protection.
See,
but we have not let any amount of cat out of bags.
This is what happens when we don't play for a week or two.
That's okay.
Whoops. All right. Well, yeah. Definitely a wolf. Yes.
So was I around? Do I know that the paper apron was slashed as well? Has anybody told me that?
I think that the paper apron was just torn by Messy putting it on, essentially.
Yeah.
Like somebody fucked up putting it on and they tore it.
No, we can see the abdomen, but yeah, it doesn't look like the claw marks.
I thought I understood it as like claw marks were through the paper apron, which means that whatever happened to her happened in this room.
Right. No. That's not what I say. I do pick up what you were putting down though, Rafe. So we can segue. I would like for Walter to please roll. Give me wits and investigation, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got a 1.
You got a 1?
A 1.
Oh boy. Okay. So with a 1, you get a flash in your mind of your sire.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And his appearance and his the way that you saw him conduct himself as he was feeding at times. It something about the claw marks brings to mind your sire, but you're not exactly sure why.
Well, yes, this is obviously some sort of an animal attack, unfortunately.
A terrible,
So
really.
unusual. So unusual.
Have you had more of these with the claws?
No,
just this one?
This is the first one. This is the first one that I've seen.
Well, then perhaps it was just a singular attack. Maybe it won't happen again. Maybe we are lucky enough to have just been the one, and the rest of the good people of London are safe from any other dire wolves like this. Like, perhaps. Oh, I would hate to think that there could be a moment that I might be out in the street and just get attacked. Perhaps we should keep this quiet so that we don't cause a bit of panic.
Right. Actually, if you don't mind, Doctor, let me confer with my compatriots here, and I might need a moment of your time if you don't mind.
Just as well. I'm going to go check in on the stock upstairs of the surplus drugs.
Dr. Williamson,
as you do so.
Before you leave, can you give me the numbers of the other units of the bodies of the Thames, and we'll be able to look at them.
There's just 2 more, I believe. So that would be number 11 and number 15.
Thank you very much. I'll let you get back to work.
Of course. And before he turns and goes, because he's going to go upstairs for a minute, he just kind of stares off into space, like really glassy-eyed. It just seems like his resolve is really being tested, and there's just so much going on in his mind, including the memory that Lillian falsely implanted into his mind. He's clearly questioning. He's not necessarily suspicious. There's almost too much going on for him to focus on one single thing, but he just has that 1,000-yard stare, and then he's sort of like
the droids you're looking for.
He slaps on his like regular, like determined doctor face, and then he goes upstairs.
And Rafe was definitely tempted to go up and do the hush now, calm now.
Right, I'm sure he would be.
But then, in the back of his head, he's worried if that might undo some of the dominate that's been conducted on the poor man. So best just leave him to suffer.
Yeah.
All right. As the doctor leaves, is there a door I could possibly close and lock behind him?
Not really. It's like kind of this open. Right. This open thing where the hallway leads like right into there. There's not.
I mean, there's the door to the morgue that I couldn't lockpick.
That's the door you came in.
Yeah, can we just lock that one?
I mean, yeah, if you want to lock the door to the morgue, that's fine.
Yes, my intent is I want us to have as much opportunity to be undisturbed for us to work as possible. And actually, if the 3 of you wouldn't mind, if I could definitely stand and act as lookout while the 3 of you go about doing what we need to do. Take a look at the other 2 bodies.
This won't take long. I have a feeling it's not going to take long.
I'm not really the hands-on sort.
Fine, I'll get to go get one.
Alright, I'll find a good post up. I'll activate heightened senses and stand sentry to make sure that we can do what we need to do without being interrupted.
Lillian would like to walk over near where Tommy's at.
Mm-hmm.
And the other doctor, not Williamson, the other one's Cochrane, correct?
Corcoran, like
Corcoran.
the bird, yeah.
Okay, Corcoran. Okay, she's gonna walk over to Tommy, and she's just kind of lean in and whisper, I'm not entirely sure if this is your thing so much, but if you happen to find yourself to be a bit famished, the good Dr. Corcoran has annoyed me a great deal, and, I could make sure that doesn't come and bite you in the arse later.
I'll keep a note of it.
Fantastic.
Wow, the unlikely pair is like conspiring. I love it.
I pulled the stiletto out a little bit more freely right now since we're alone. And I'm going to go and check the wrists of 11 and 15.
They're similarly, as Rafe said, exsanguinated, so no blood comes out.
Scratches.
Well, I have a feeling we need to start paying attention more to that bottling plant here.
Tommy, Rafe.
Yeah.
At the Dandy, you hang out there a lot, right? That's kind of your thing?
Yeah.
Have you noticed a Frenchman start coming through very often?
Have I?
Have we?
Storyteller, have we?
No. You
Okay.
haven't.
No.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
There's something very familiar that I may have seen before in those scratches.
Oh, let's not keep secrets now. We're just getting to know each other.
Yeah. It reminds me of someone I used to know.
No names, no nothing, just someone I used to know.
Well, it could be nothing. His name's Julian.
Julian?
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Perhaps we could all take our turns to see if we can find out if there's been a Julian around.
Have these other two bodies been mutilated like Mary?
Not mutilated, but definitely cleaned out of blood.
Right. Well, someone is... I mean, I don't know, just going off of the fact that we've got 3 bodies here, all 3 of them showing signs of exsanguination. Someone is not cleaning up after themselves, or they're doing it in a very lazy manner, and this is going to be a problem.
I'd be willing to bet a bit of a wager that it's our dear, whatever that creature is, that is enjoying the spoils of London.
Great. So now we've got that does make sense, actually. So
those claw marks are definitely not a wolf.
Absolutely not.
No. And so that's what I was trying to get at there earlier, Walter. I mean, I've seen Gangrel do things like this. I mean, that's
entirely possible.
I mean, I've heard that there's a lot of things out there that could do something like this, but no, it's quite clear that this isn't natural, and the only reason why the doctor's not going to say anything is because you're paying him to keep quiet.
Who's paying him?
Well, Miss Crawford here.
Okay.
Not directly, but...
Let's get one thing perfectly clear. I'm not actually paying him to keep quiet. I'm paying to fund this establishment because I am a woman of my word, and that's what I said I would do, and that is what I have done. What's going on with the good doctor? That was just a bit of trickery on my part to keep things under the laws of the masquerade.
Well, that's very, very true, yes. But as far as he knows not to get too ambitious, is what I'm getting at.
If there was a pandemic going on, or a war going on, or anything, any bit of this would be a red flag.
Understood, yes.
So it needs to stop, and if at all possible, we need to make sure those bodies get in the ground as soon as possible.
Do I happen to recognize the other two bodies?
No.
So I know of Mary, but...
Right, the other two are actually men.
Okay.
Again, all of them are relatively young. Like, they're not older people at all. They're like in their 20s and 30s, like no older than that.
Well, we're going to have to make this quick, because if this flying beast has taken a custom to Mary there, that means that that flying beast may know exactly where we are at any given moment.
Right.
Since it's from our location, and this body just popped up.
Rafe?
Yes?
If you don't mind, you're good with a pen. Why don't you do me all of us a bit of a favor and mark these particular corpses as potential contagions meant to be burned immediately.
Understood, Mom.
Thank you.
Let me see if I can.
Is there a desk around?
I'm sure I can find something. Yeah.
There's plenty of desks.
I'm looking for like some kind of like medical form.
Yeah. See,
that
now
he'd be able to fill out for him.
Now, I did spend quite a bit of time in academia. Now, granted, the medical sciences and we'll say, medical bureaucracy were not part of my area of study. However, once one does spend enough time around forms and duplicate forms and triplicate forms, you start to get used to looking for certain forms of paperwork. So I would actually like to use my academic abilities to search for what would appear to be the correct destruction orders and get them put in the right inbox that they need to be.
Okay, so then why don't you roll me intelligence and academics, but don't use your extra journalism die.
No,
okay.
I was not.
I was straight up about to be like, if this was D&D, I want to assist, and Lillian is just gonna just be like, surely, with the pandemic and everything around right now, at the moment you mark a word saying contagion, they're going to hop to it.
Right.
Doesn't matter if it's in the right place or not.
With all these bodies coming in and out, I'm sure these people should be somewhere close by.
1, 2, 3,
Exactly.
4, 5 successes.
Oh boy. You are fortunate this evening. So, you will find the form you need, you will recognize it, and you will quite expeditiously mark what needs to be marked for these three bodies, so that they will be tagged for like immediate disposal. And yeah, you'll file them where they need to go successfully.
Understood. Thank you very much. And as I get done, see, the thing about doctors, nothing ever changes. The handwriting is always shit.
Yeah, so bad.
So it's very, very easy to actually fake one of these. Now, anybody could do this. And there we go. They'll be ash by noon.
Wonderful. That takes care of that, then. Now we just need to ensure that no more wind up here.
That's going to be the hard part.
Right, I think it's about time we find out what's going on at that bottling facility.
Right, I'll see if I can track down my contact if they've managed to make it to the rendezvous, and we'll go from there.
And you hear Dr. Williamson from upstairs, and he's saying, I'm returning. I'm coming down now.
Understood. We've finished our investigation. You can come on down. We're good.
Okay, so he comes down the stairs. He's got like some miscellaneous type of supplies in his hands, and he's kind of like looking him over. And he's like, he kind of smiles to himself, and then he looks up. I feel as though I have no choice but to trust you. After, frankly, you saved my life from the accident, I feel as though I owe you my gratitude and my assistance. And obviously, something is amiss. Dr. Gray, there's violence, sure. I see it every day, frankly. And we got our fill of it during the war. But this is something else. I feel deeply unsettled. I've known Dr. Gray for a number of years. He, of course, didn't like me particularly, but we were colleagues. I respected his experience and his wisdom. And to have that removed from London in our most dire hour, it's a tragedy, and it doesn't bode well for the future of Wetman and for the medical community at large, I'm finding out. None of this can be coincidental at this point, I don't think. So, in conclusion, I've let you do this here today because of what you've done for me, and I will attempt to provide you with what you need in these situations, but I do ask that you don't bring any further destruction to the hospital, to the people who work here, and to the patients. They are my responsibility. I feel as though I must do something, and you are the only people I can turn to at the moment. So I do hope that you will not abuse the trust that I am giving you. And on that note, if you are concluded in your investigation, I would ask you to leave the hospital for this evening and let us attend to the situation with Dr. Gray, to the flu patients, to all the other people in need.
Understood, Doctor. Thank you for your time, and we will be sure to be respectful of our place here in this facility from here on out.
Absolutely.
And Williamson looks at Lillian, stares at her a little harder than the other ones, and just nods his head. And he says,
"Oh, that reminds me. I do believe I am supposed to be leaving a bit of funding here."
Yes, I can't say I had seen anything. I mean, obviously, I'm not the head of the hospital, but I haven't seen any paperwork indicating that there's been any kind of transaction yet. You're leaving funds tonight?
Is that a problem? Should I wait?
I mean, we typically don't.
Here, I'll tell you what. This will be just between us, but here, and I'm going to pull out some of the...
Yeah, so you're going to have full pound notes.
Yes. And
yeah, so that's a lot of money. So I would say you're going to give him like a tenner, which is huge.
Yeah,
so that's like a couple $100 American, maybe.
If you promise not to tell, this is our little secret that I'm going, sort of not through the regular chain of command, but I feel like you need this now more than waiting for however long for the red tape and bureaucracy to have their whims about it. So, between you and me, here you go. Please put it to good use.
Buy your nurses some drinks, some gin.
And I give it to him.
He really stops a second before he takes it from you. You can tell that he's conflicted, but
I will be making a formal donation as well, but I feel like you need this now more than ever, and if you promise to put it to good use, This will be our secret. Off the books funding for you to do what you need to do right now. And then I'll make a formal donation in the morning.
I simply don't have the strength to refuse you, and I would like to take care of my staff. So
Fantastic.
I reluctantly take this from you. and he takes it and he puts the notes in his coat pocket. And now, if you please, and he motions to the entrance to the morgue.
She will go.
As we're leaving, I put my hand on his shoulder and say, my condolences about Dr. Gray.
And his head hangs, and he says, thank you. It's a great loss for our community. Despite his curmudgeonliness, he was a respected doctor, and it's very unfortunate indeed that he had to meet such a bloody end. And he sort of like moves out from underneath your touch. Yeah. And he it
was like a passing thing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So he leaves and he's the first one out. So through the doorway he looks at all of you and he says, all right, I'll be getting back to my patients now. But I assume we shall meet again.
Likely.
And then he goes back through the men's ward and the side entrance. And I think that is where we will call
it. Walter is disgusted.
I bet.
Oh my god, that was fantastic.
Cool.
I'm like, Tommy is Lillian's like new like best friend right now. Like, yes.
Never expected them to get on. Truly, I did not. So that's been really fantastic.
They're on that level.
They are. They for sure are. So thank you everyone for joining us for London's Bleeding. This was our third episode. So thank you for following us so far. We're just going to go quickly around the horn to see what everybody's working on, anything they want to say, any final remarks, and we'll start again with Ben as Walter.
I'm not on the socials, not working on anything special, just getting more involved with the community. So I'll see you guys on Discord.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm Patrick Gill, the creative director of this wonderful little ragtag group of insurrectionists and we'll say creative revolutionaries. How's that?
Yeah.
We're currently developing a Cult of the Blood Gods, Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle for the Onyx Path Twitch channel. And there's something else that I will say, but I will save that for after everybody else is done speaking.
Hi, I'm Samantha McLarty. I was the ever so ventrue and bitchy Lillian Crawford. Who is glad to finally find somebody on her level at this point in the game. I am also on the Vancouver Adjacent by Night Twitch stream for V5, Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. I play the ever so losing her resolve Elena Cortez, La Sombra, with Patrick, that's I'm gonna be doing I don't know when this is gonna actually air, so I don't know what's been announced and what hasn't been announced, so I'm just not gonna say that. But I've got a few more projects coming up that haven't at this point been announced just yet, so
Gotcha.
Just have to wait and see what happens. Follow me on socials, just S McLarty on all the socials. And apparently I've got a YouTube thing going that I wasn't expecting to be a thing, and I like to call it a TikTok because, I mean, why not? I'm old at this point, so yeah, it's just a TikTok.
That's what we call them too.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
I actually did my very first video tonight for the Lillian makeup that my daughter has set up, and she's like, "Don't talk. You're gonna do voiceover. It's gonna have to be a speedy video thing, whatever the fuck she said. I can't remember. Oh my god, I'm showing my age. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, I'm done. That's it. Go away.
Okay. Steve.
And I'm again Stephen Rieger. Played your favorite weird Malkavian in London town, Tommy there.
I'm loving Tommy.
You can catch me on the socials at Darth Generico. And a lot of my stuff is behind the scenes right now. So once projects start getting announced, you'll start seeing my fingerprints and everything.
Nice. Pat, did you want to say something else?
Well, why don't you say something else and then I'll say something else.
Okay, my name's Sarah. I'm the storyteller. I'm not much on the social media, so I guess if you want to find me somewhere, you can DM me, but I don't really want you to follow me, so
Don't follow me.
Don't follow me.
Stalker.
Yeah, I'm going to be a player in the Cults of the Blood Gods Onyx Path. I'm very excited about that. We have so much stuff going on behind the scenes. It's wild. I'm continuing to work on London's Bleeding and lots of other stuff. So, yeah, you can pretty much catch me here at Martlet and maybe some other places in the future. You never know.
And I know what that is in reference to, and that is...
Indeed.
And that is interesting.
It is.
So, anyways, today's date, as of this recording, well, it's now technically Sunday, March 21st. It's after midnight here Central Time. This was a late-ass fucking game. But anyways, it was announced that Martlet Games is now officially a LLC. We are legitimate in the eyes of the state of Iowa.
Yeah.
In the eyes of the federal government. Yeah, so things are... I've been waiting for an opportunity like this for a very, very long time. I've got the absolute best group of people here on screen with me that we are... I'm very confident that we're gonna have a lot of fun.
We rule. We're smart. We're cool. We're creative. Like, you can't go wrong.
Nope.
I'm excited.
Sexy as hell.
I'm excited.
Sexy.
Sexy. So, but yes, that's yeah. And I just realized I've had my icon on here on my face on OBS this whole time. And I've been making like little tiny adjustments to like everyone this whole time as we all like shift around. So
I gotta do better.
And I need to figure out, okay, this is going on entirely way too long. I should save this for the after show. But we all love you. Thank you all for stopping by. Sarah, did you want to go ahead and take us out? This is your show. Go ahead.
It is my show. Yeah. Yes. Thank you everyone for joining us at home. Appreciate your viewership. Go ahead and follow Martlet Games on all relevant social media platforms, especially Facebook, as that's where you can get the most information about what we're doing right now. Right now. Currently, there will be other avenues forthcoming, but right now the Facebook is the best place you can get the updated info. Yeah, I'm having a great time. This is my first time STing. I have a great group of players. I really couldn't ask for anything else. So thanks again. Take care of yourselves and the ones you love, and we will see you in the next night. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.